34 years ago, an iconic and visionary leader, Her Excellency, late Dr. Mrs. Maryam Babangida, founded a non-profit organization called the Better Life Program for the African Rural Woman, with a vision to see an emergence of a well-informed, economically and socio-politically empowered African woman, participating effectively in the process of national development and the promotion of family values, and as a result, living better. In wrapping up the International Women's Month, join us as we celebrate Our Excellency, late Dr. Mrs. Maryam Babangida, for being a pace setter and giving the African woman a platform and a voice to play big locally and internationally in the business and political world. To quote Her Excellency Aisha Babangida, the chairperson of the Better Life Program for the African Rural Woman, let us look beyond the limitation of gender equality and focus on designing tools for the African woman to function exceptionally.
Mama wani yarin ke da kanko?
Sunana Rakiya Muhammad. Ni an haife ni a Katsina ne. Mamana da babana yan Katsina ne. Mamana ta rasu. Sai kanwar babana ita ne ta ɗauko ni ta zo ta riƙe ni a hannunta, na zo na girma ta yi mana aure. Na auri mai gidana shekara 21 da ya wuce. Na aure shi, mun haifi yara, to dama shi baban shi dan Mali ne, ya zo ya aikin soja a Najeriya. Baban shi muna zaune gida ɗaya. To shi mai gidana Allah ya mishi rasuwa, ga yara na guda 8. Ina da maza 3, ina da mata 5.
Afọ m bụ Mrs. Cecilia Jeremiah. Abụ m onye Ezimifite, kedu n'okpuru ọchịchị Nnewi South Local Government. Mgbe aha ịmagoni na oge nke anyị o nwere ofu ihe dị anyị n'obi. Ọ bụghị dịka ihe dị ugbu a. Mgbe aha onye ọbụla chọrọ ịbụ onye nkuzi. Ana otu aha ka nwande ọ na-agụkwa m na nchọkwara ka m too ka m gụkwa akwụkwọ ka m nwee ike bụrụkwa onye nkuzi, mana ọ gaziri m otu isi wee chee nu because ugbu a anaghị m akụzi ahụ. So mgbe aha m pere mpe, ọchịchọ obi m bụ na m ga-eto wee gụọ akwụkwọ ọfụma bịa bido kụziwe nkuzi.
My name is Sakrat Kazim, Olori Shoko Balogo Compound, and 40 years. Long story nìyẹn o. Agbára káká ebulẹ̀ ni fún mi láti ìwé mi wá. Torí bàbá mi àti màmá mi, ṣùgbọ́n a kì í jẹrù lóko ọ̀run lórí gẹ́gẹ́ bí Mùsùlùmí. Wọ́n ní ipa púpọ̀ lórí ọmọ tá gbọ́dọ̀ sọ pé ìdàkejì. Bí mo ṣe dúró yìí láti kékeré mi, mo fẹ́ sọ pé láti mi lọ sí school bí mo ṣe wà mi kájú primary 4 lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n gbà tí ó ṣàgbára tí mi dẹ̀ rẹ́ni rán mi, bó ṣe wù mí tó gan mi rẹ́ni rán mi. Wọ́n fi mí ṣẹ́nu iṣẹ́, mo dẹ̀ kọ́ṣẹ́. N ò ṣe freedom fún mi until now ní bàbá àtọmọ.
Ni dai sunana Amina Nuhu, kuma haifaffiyar nan garin ce, haifaffiyar Kano, ƙaramar hukumar Dawakin Kudu, mazaɓar Dawakiji, unguwar Zabuwa. an haife ni a nan, amma da farko na yi aure ba a nan ba, a can tsallaken titi Zogarawa. Kuma mai gidana ya rasu, yara na 7, guda ɗaya namiji, mata 6. To yanzu dai ina zaune ne a nan gidanmu, kuma ni nake ɗaukar ɗawainiyarsu.
My name na Patience Oroke. My man name na Maryam. My pa name na Ibodudu. And next, I wan become a teacher. I no deal with my parents. I deal with another person. But my parents they dey this side. But along the line, the person when I finish my primary school, he no gree dey put me for school. So from there now I start to do business because the person dey sell fish and the fish so now the follow dey sell. Nobody try to pay my school fees. Now I go back to school. My man sister now take me to make me I go learn sewing. So where I for dey learn the sewing I no come dey see money because this my auntie na dey say if I comot for house go learn the sewing so me I no dey quick dey come. And me I no come dey see money dey old dey use. E come make me come comot for the sewing again, go back to the fish wey be say im dey sell so.
Nuratu Saka 58. Ilé ìwé Kùtù mo lọ Ìwánù ní Ìlọrin náà mọ́ bí mi sí ní maternity.
Afam wo Oluchukwu Okafo wafam. And the age onendo wo 46. Afam nena nnamu Jeffet Ezan, late Jeffet Ezan and Margaret Ezan. Yone chukwenu mola wona. Maka even chom mekita. Wonwe kan siwe hehu. My home, maki na mekita wona. Hotel kan nalo. Hotel okwa wo kwa no nuku hotel no mo bacha hotela. Yana enyem ya 15,000. Nwere ihe ozuru. Even on tourism san no kita. Nwere ngo na makwuro n'ụgwọ no for 3 years. Ni asem na asi. Ndị landlady anyị disturb ketego m ike gwukwu onye. Ano kata abịa won say biko ha wele m ndidi. So, onwere insult am ka mesi we ko we akọ. Nwere ihe nwe. Even 15,000 na no mbata.
Ni sunana Habiba Mamuda, shekara 45. To gaskiya alhamdulillah na gode ma Allah, na gode ma maikinsa sallallahu alaihi wasallama, na gode ma mamana da ta haifi da Allah ya sa ta haife ni. Da na tashi ina karama na ga mamana tana dinga sun kan kwara, sai ta ce tashi mu je sun tan kwara, an gari ya waye ta tada mu ta ce yanzu kun ga ba ku da baba, bari mu nema abinci mu ci. Mu tashi mu je mu yi sunta, muka dawo suntan nan mu dafa, muka dafa mun fara aiki kenan.
Taiwo do lórúkọ mi. 42 years. Ìwé mẹ́fà ni mo kà gbà tí ò sí ìkíní kankan. Mi dẹ̀ fi lọ sí school mọ́. Kò sí ìrànlọ́wọ́ kankan, kò sẹ́ni tó máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Mo fẹ́ di lọ́ọ̀yà ni.
Kí ni ó ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan tí ò fi jẹ́ kẹ́ lọ sí ilé-ìwé secondary?
Kò sówó ni, kò dẹ̀ sí akàn ọmọ mi wa àti dáàdì wa ń struggle láti ràn wá lọ, kò dẹ̀ sí agbára tán lè fi ràn wá lọ.
Ni sunana Falmata Ali ne, kuma ni ina da shekara 36. To ƙarshen rayuwa yadda ta kasance mana, da farko dai ni a nan garin nake aka yi aure na aka kai ni Bama. To a Bama lokacin da Bama ta yi rikice mun sha wahala sosai kamun muka fito. To mijina kuma aka zo aka kashe shi. Ni da yara na guda 3 ne a hanya mun sha wahala sosai kusan kwanan mu 3 muka shigo cikin garin nan. Kamun mu iso din a Kawuri ne muka samu wani ya taya mu ya taimaka mana muka samu muka shigo garin nan. Mun sha wahala sosai har a asibiti an ba mu magunguna da su ƙarin ruwa hakan na an taimaka an yi mana. Bayan nan ma kusan sati 2 za a dinga ganin ƙayoyi a jikinmu saboda mun shiga inda ba hanya ba ma mun yi yawo sosai. Ina rike da yara 2 ne da namiji karami a hannuna. Yara na 3 muka samu muka shigo garin nan, babansu kuma babu already an riga an kashe shi.
Lokacin da yake da rayuwar shi yana bakin kokarin shi da mu, don a hannun shi ne ma na koyi sana'an dinki, na koyi sana'an sabulu man shafawa, mantaleta, haka duk a cikin sana'o'in wajen guda 7 ne a cikin certificate din. Na koyi wa'annan sana'o'in, ina kokari da ni da mai gidana muna rufa ma kanmu asiri. To Allah ya zo ya karɓi rayuwar shi ya rasu, ya bar ni da yara. Dama a hannun baban shi nake, ya rasu ya bar baban shi. To yanzu baban ma ya rasu, shine sai na dawo nan gidan wanda ta rike ni, ita ta dauko ni ta rike ni tun ina karama na. To a haka nan muke manejin rayuwa da yara na suna samu suna zuwa makaranta. Muna dan yin dinki yanzu tunda ban da jaran da zan yi sabulu din da sauransu. Ina yin dinki, ina dan samun wani lokaci gyara, wani lokaci zan dinka sabu in na samu. A haka muke manejin, ina dan siya musu abin da zan siyan musu da kuma abin da za mu ci. Zai kai kamar shekara 10 da na fara ne sana'a haka da kasuwancin su sabulu din. Ina dan yin dinki haka nan tun mai gidan na yana da rai, yana so dama in kasance mai sana'a haka. Yana faɗan in na zama mai sana'a ko ran da ba shi da shi zan iya taimaka ma yara. Shi yasa ni nake koyan dinki, shi yasa ni makarantar da muka koyi sabulu da sauransu. Bar sana'an sabulu da man shafa yawa. Abin da yasa na bar sana'an sabulu da man shafa tun dalilin rasuwar mai gidana, sai ya zama na ban da jarin da zan yi. Ina kokari ina dinki, muna cin abinci, kayan da zan yi amfani da shi ma gaskiya ba ni da shi, iyakacin wa'annan ne nake da su yanzu. Saboda shi aikin sabulu kamar yanzu wa'anda aka sa ma yara ko manyan haka wanda suka yage, in aka kawo ina dinkawa, ina gyarawa. Yanzu ma wa'annan gyara ne aka bani, na riga na gyara su ga suna. Wa'annan an kawo min dinki kayan yara da na manya, an kawo na dinka. Amma ba sabu biyu fa, wa'annan gyara ne, wannan ma ban samu lokaci na yi ba, an kawo min in gyara ne.
Kí ìgbésí ayé bí mo ṣe lo ìgbésí ayé mi báwọn ẹbí mi ṣe láìfù mi, ìfẹ́ kí táwọn ọmọ mi ó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó jẹ́ kí n dúró láti dúró ti àwọn ọmọ mi. Iṣẹ́ ìránṣọ ni mo kọ́, ṣùgbọ́n mi ò láṣeyọrí pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Mi ò láṣeyọrí pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ torí bàbá mi àti màmá mi bí wọ́n ṣe bọ́ sálùkì àmọ́ mi fẹ́ di ẹ̀bi lé wọn lórí, torí ọ̀ ni wọ́n jẹ́ kí láìfù mi rí bí ó ṣe rí yìí. Ṣùgbọ́n alihamudulilayi mo tún dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run torí pé tẹ́mi bá ṣì wà ìrètí ní àtibẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ní èrò ọkàn mi ni pé ìgbà tẹ́mi náà dẹni tó márì tí mo dẹni tó ń wọlé ọkọ, mi fẹ́ kí bí láìfù mi ṣe rí, mi fẹ́ kí láìfù àwọn ọmọ mi ó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìdí tí mo fi ń kiri kí, tí mo fi ń sábàrú ká lọ́tùn lósì láti tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ mi nìyẹn. Nígbà tí ò sí bàbá wọn pẹ̀lú mi mọ́, ló jẹ́ kí mi dúró pé kí n mọ́ tọ́jú wọn níwọ̀n bá Ọlọ́run ṣe fún mi lágbára mọ́.
mgbe m dị na nwa achọ m nje skuul mana mgbanwe ego anyị eji skuul adịrọ na ụlọ ego skuul dị na maka eje skuul gụọ secondary primary secondary ma university
kedu ka ego na university ọ bụla ego
accountancy mba agụrụ m na 3 na JS3 mana enwe m ozi ike nzụcha m alụ ha gbakwanụ mbọ ka ba zụcha m o kwere agbazie nkịtị
Good morning, everybody. So, like, I was professionally prepared for this, like capturing the moment and being on ground and shooting, and even realizing how much difficulties these women were going through. Initially, you will start by asking them questions, then you now realize that, okay, at a point, it's not even about the questions and the things you want to get from them. You have to like pause and listen to the story that's already been there. So we have to even like pause the question and tell them, okay, you can say it, just say it as you feel to the camera. Like, none of this was scripted. There are people who have gone through a lot and they were waiting for this moment just to, let it out on camera. And that was what you guys just watched. This is just like part 1 of the whole full movie. So for the rest of this is just like the introductory stage. They went deeper and deeper and deeper, and we're going to continue on our social media platforms. So on this platform, we continue enjoying the whole story.
Thank you, Mr. David Oga. Could you please give him a round of applause? The sun, the rain, the stories, the emotion, everything comes into play. And as human beings, you honestly start what these women are going through. Shall we please rise as we welcome Mrs. Pauline Tice. We can sit now. Thank you very much. For now, my job has ended. I hope I was able to be a good host while we waited. MC, he's such a brilliant man, one of my media. Shall we please welcome your MC for the day, Mr. Akasim Abdul Qadir.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to Madam Honorable Minister. Thank you very much for joining us here this morning. We are sincerely glad that you could make it to this event. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the program has started. It is indeed the premiere and launch and conversation of Her Majesty. The African Rural Woman is being centered here today. Without wasting further much time, I'd like to invite to the podium for a goodwill remark the person in whom I'll call Her Majesty, Honorable Hajia Amina Aliyu. Honorable Hajia Amina Aliyu's story is one of great courage, is one of resilience, is one of commitment to ensure that she makes her life, and not only hers, but her family's, a better one. She rose from grass to the proverbial grace. Please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Honorable Hajia Amina Aliyu to the podium for her goodwill remarks. Solomon. As we wait for Honorable Hajia Amina Aliyu, the next goodwill message we have is from the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, in person of Her Excellency Mrs. Adejoke Orelepe Adefure. Please, if she's around, kindly come to the podium for, okay. The next goodwill message we have is from Honorable Dr. Asabe Velita Bashir. She's the Director General Women Development Center. A seasoned member of Parliament and now Director General Women Development Center. Welcome.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our dear mother, mentor, leader, the Minister for Women Affairs, the Paul and Talent, OFR KSG, whose passion for women across the globe is not in question. You can see her, despite her condition, her health condition, she's here just to facilitate with this day and to show the Nigerian women that she's always there for them. Thank you, ma'am, for coming. Our own daughter of the nation, Her Excellency Aisha Babangida, whom today we are all gathered here for, who is representing the whole Babangida family and representing our late mom. Your Excellency, we are so honored to identify with you. Friends of our late mother, our mothers, associates of our late mother, Maryam Babangida, you are most welcome, ma'am. Associates of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammad Buhari, who is ably led by our sister and friend, Hajia Maryam Salisu. You are most welcome. Our own sister and daughter, Ambassador Fatima, a close associate of the Honorable Minister for Women Affairs, and who is also my sister. You are welcome. The he for she is here present. We are so honored to have you. You are our children. You have really demonstrated that we are your mothers. Thank you for being here, and thank you for identifying with us. We are very proud of you. Members of the staff of the National Center for Women Development, who I believe are all here, I made it mandatory for all of us to attend. Without our late mother, Maryam Babangida, we will not be here taking our salaries. So you are welcome. Our rural women, who we are all gathered here for, we are so proud of you and we appreciate you. Today is your day, so we are here to facilitate with you. You are most welcome. Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, and please forgive me if I have not recognized you. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the National Center for Women Development, a legacy that was initiated and developed by a champion of cause of the rural women and founder, Better Life for Rural Women, in the person of our late mother, Her Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Maryam Babangida, whom we greatly miss today. Permit me to especially appreciate Her Excellency, Hajia Aisha Babangida, the chairperson Better Life Program for the African Rural Women, for keeping the legacy of our late mother and the flag flying. Congratulations on the launch of Her Majesty Chronicles. I want to appreciate our mother, Her Excellency, Dame Pauline Talen, for her time and passion for the Nigerian women. We are so proud to have her at the Home Affairs of the Ministry of Women Affairs. She's always with us, despite her health condition. You can see her, she's always here. So we thank you, ma'am. We continue to tap from your wealth of experience. Thank you for coming. Climate change and security and insecurity, boundary, farmer-herdsman clashes, compounded by the COVID-19 pandemic, has further worsened the situation of food security in Nigeria, and rural women are the ones most affected by all these factors. It is so difficult for them to go to their farms, which is their major source of livelihood, and this has resulted in increased gender-based violence, increased disproportionate share of unpaid care work opportunities, and poor income for the rural women. On its part, the National Center for Women Development continues to hold the tenets of its initiative to advance the issues and concerns of rural women and ensure food security for women. The center promotes the livelihood improvement and well-being of the rural women through its Women Development Centers Activation Project at the 774 local government areas of the Federation. The project is intended to ensure alternative source of income of rural women, improvement of their livelihood, and also combat domestic violence at the grassroots. Another project the center is providing is the backyard farm. Backyard farm with high yields from small pieces of land using improved technology for rural women to ensure that food security and personal safety is guaranteed. They are guaranteed. It is on this note that I am calling on all stakeholders, international donor organizations, CSOs, private individuals to join in amplifying commitments in adopting solutions and technologies that would enhance and promote the livelihood and well-being of our rural women. I wish to once again commend Her Excellency, our sister, our daughter, Hajia Aisha Babangida, Chairperson Better Life Program for African Rural Women, for hosting this event today. I want to assure you and the Babangida family in particular that the center, the Ministry of Women Affairs, and indeed the female honorable members in the National Assembly are working assiduously around the clock to ensure that this center's name is renamed after our late mother, Maryam Babangida. I pray Allah, to Almighty Allah, to reward all our own efforts. Congratulations once again, and happy International Rural Women's Day. Thank you very much for listening.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please another round of applause for Honorable Dr. Asabe Velita Bashir. She is the Director General, National Center for Women Development. Honorable Asabe Velita Bashir is not new to the issues of rural women or to the issues of women in general. If we recall, she represented Oza Chibok Dambwa at the House of Representatives, where she was representing the people and women of these areas. And if we know this region very well, they have been suffering from insurgency since 2009. And she ensured that the women of these local governments were well catered for in their IDP camps. So please, another round of applause for her as she has delivered that Goodwill Message. We'll now go to the opening remark of this very, very important event. And there's no any other person to deliver this opening remark than a confidant of mommy, a friend, a loyalist, and a strong supporter. She was with her from the beginning, and she was with her all through to the end. And by the grace of God, she's here with us today. We count ourselves privileged to have her with us here today. And no any other person to deliver those opening remarks than her. I would like to welcome Her Majesty, Mrs. Ngozi Madaki, to come to the podium to deliver the opening remarks for this very, very important event. Thank you very much, Mommy, for the privilege. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence here this morning.
Please permit me to stand on all existing protocols, please. I very much assume we all know the reason why we are here today. For those who do not know, we are here today because of one woman's missionary foresight, Her Excellency, led Dr. Mrs. Maryam Babangida. Dr. Mrs. Maryam Babangida set up the Better Life program for the rural woman in September 1987, when she was the first lady of the nation. The idea then was to achieve gender equity with special focus on rural women. We, the first ladies of different states, then supported her and were working to impact the lives of rural women. It was a very laudable program, which she kept closest to her heart till death. Thank God for the children. They have not let this idea die. I must thank our daughter, Haja Aisha Babangida, for keeping this candle still burning. In asking rural women to rise and claim their basic rights, the sustainable development. Of course, we all know what basic rights are. But most importantly, we must define what sustainable development is first and how to claim such rights. Sustainable development can be defined as the idea that human society must live and meet their needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This simply means, in a layman's language, what we can do without disturbing or hampering our society and our children. That thing that we can even transfer to our children to continue even when we are gone, or tired, or retired, so to help our existence and humanity. The meaning of the subject matter, that is our topic today, underscores the idea behind the vision and setting up of the project. The Better Life Rural Women for Africa by Dr. Mrs. Maryam Babangida of blessed memory. The whole idea centers on rural women empowerment, development, how women can be used for themselves. Rural women as major key players in the family, the community, and state developmental formations. For our natural role as mothers, wives, places us at an advantageous position to play this critical role better than the men. We are better managers, processor of wealth, and procreation, as the case may be. The problem now is what is holding us back from attaining this or claiming our rights. What is holding us back? Some will say the men, some will say society, some will say our laws, some religion, some culture, or no economic power, and so on. But the truth is that we are the cause of our problems. We have held ourselves down on these earliest times, reasons for too long, that no one is interested in listening to us again. Now, more than ever in the time of rural women, to step forward out of our shells to regain the lost confidence and claim our rightful place in the area of sustainable development. Thank God. We have women in government these days who can help us shape the laws as they affect women and lobby for change on those laws that are not favorable to women. The rural women today are accessing the education and are more illiterate today than before. Do you believe that? Yes. Cultures are going extinct and times are changing. Government is introducing more funding to the rural women through microfinance, banks and agri-banks, accessing credit easier than before. And more important is that rural women should form the habit of banking. Even local women associations should open bank accounts in the rural banks to access bulk credit for members. Finally, our rural women, it has always been seen that women do not leave anything to bequeath to their children. But if we rise to claim this right of ours to sustainable development, the joy of our children will know no bounds. And a more serious sense of industry will be imparted to our children, and they will be better in future. Lastly, I want to thank each and every one of us here for finding time to come and continue to add our various contributions towards sustaining this NGO. Thank you all, and God bless.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please keep clapping until she takes her seat. Please don't stop clapping. She has made very, very profound statements here this morning. Hers is a reminder, rural women, we must support rural women to take their rightful place in Nigeria, in Africa. We must support rural women and women in general in ensuring that they remain steadfast in achieving their vision and dreams. Any society that fails in that will have itself to blame. Mrs. Ngozi Madaki was there at the beginning, and we're grateful that she's here with us today to remind us of how it all started and what we must do to ensure that we sustain this vision. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll proceed with the rest of the event. As you all know, it is often said that women hold up half of the sky. If we believe that women hold half of the sky, then it means we must do all we can to ensure that they're able to achieve this lofty height and dream that we have for our nation. It's now time for us to invite to the podium Hajia Saadatul Sani Musa. She's the founder, Future Pathways Foundation, for her speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC, for inviting me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhum. Your Excellency, the Minister, Women Affairs, my mommy, Mrs. Dame Pauline Salen, Your Excellency, the convener of this great event, my dearest friend, Hajia Aishatu Ibrahim Babangida, the chairperson, Better Life for the African Rural Women. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I consider it a rare privilege to stand before you today to speak at this memorable occasion. It is more humbling, especially with the array of great women from our various rural communities. I find this a rare privilege to address you all on this auspicious occasion of Rural Women Day celebrations, beautifully put together by Her Excellency, the chairperson of the Better Life Program for the African Rural Woman, Hajia Aishatu Babangida. This day is special and unique to me in many ways. First, it brings back some nostalgic memories of a woman who is strong at heart, eloquent, visionary, dynamic, quintessential, and a classic epitome of beauty and motherhood. Her Excellency, beautiful Hajia Maryam Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Of blessed memory, her spirit lives on, and she's the reason why we're all here today. Driving on the vision she has started, like they say, those who live forever are those who recreate themselves in others. And Hajia Mama Maryam, the Amazon First Lady, had indeed recreated herself in us. I dare to say that she is here with us in spirit. She passed as one of the celebrated women to have occupied the exalted office of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. One must thank her posthumously for her exemplary leadership and unequivocal show of class, finesse, and dexterity in the discharge of her duties. It is painful she's not here physically with us to witness this day, but I'm as convinced as many of her mentees world over that even in her final resting place, she's proud to have a daughter as Her Excellency Hajia Aishatu Babangida. As a daughter who has carried on with the activities of Better Life for the Rural Women without any discrimination and rancor along political and religious lines. This is a perfect template on how to sustain an idea, how to build institutions and make it worthy of generational use. I must mention at this point in time that Her Excellency Hajia Aishatu Babangida's mentorship has propelled me into establishing an NGO. Your Excellency, Haji Aisha Babangida, I'm grateful to you for taking me along with you on trips within and outside Nigeria to attend programs for better life for rural women. Your mentoring has motivated me greatly. Your passion and commitment is worthy of emulation. In emulating Her Excellency's drive, combined with her unceasing advice and unflinching support from my dear husband, distinguished Senator Mohammed Sani Musa, I was able to establish a foundation called the Future Pathways Foundation, with the principal focus of elevating the suffering of women, the girl child, and the children. In the last few years, we have fed and still feeding 5,000 children every week. We share raw food stuff to women, pay hostel bills, train women and girls in different skills acquisition programs, and then set them up with financial support to start their own businesses. We do not leave them to their own fate. After their skill acquisition training, we have set up a monitoring and evaluation team that monitors their progress and reports back to us. A little drop, they say, makes an ocean. Whatever little we can do will go a long way to giving our rural women succor. It might interest you to know that these women in the rural areas are strong, intelligent, beautiful, confident, and very industrious. They are of great minds and have a lot of potential in them. They have a lot of potential in them. I discovered this a while ago during my husband's senatorial campaign in our constituency, and I came to a conclusion that all they need is just a little push, and the greatness in our women will be discovered. Our dear women, we are truly, truly proud of you. To my fellow women, to whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed, your little effort will be greatly appreciated, and in turn, Allah will bless you too. I want to use this opportunity to therefore ask my sisters that nothing is too small. You can decide to adopt a child by seeing to his or her education and upkeep in his parents' house. Do not despise days of little beginnings. My dearest mentor, Hajia Aisha Babangida, I owe you a debt of gratitude for your support and mentorship. I am proud to be associated to you. I would end these brief remarks of mine without having to say a very special thanks to my very, very supportive husband, distinguished Senator Mohammed Sani Musa, for all he has done and all he's still doing for the foundation. May God bless you, the people's senator. To all our women, please remain focused. And whatever seed money is given to you, please invest it and turn it around. There's so much joy when you're seen to be doing what you've learned from various skill acquisition. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I would like to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless the chairperson of this foundation, the Better Life program, and the foundation itself. I would like to ask Allah to bless the Future Pathways Foundation and each and every one of us here. I would also like to ask Allah to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for Hajia Saadatu Sani Musa. She is the founder of Future Pathways Foundation. On a lighter note, during her speech, you heard her when she paid a special tribute to her husband. Indeed, behind every good woman, there's a good man. Do you agree? That yes is not loud enough. Behind every good woman, there's a good man. Yes. Thank you very much. Indeed, to buttress the point, Dr. Mrs. Maryam Babangida was able to achieve almost everything she set out to achieve because she had the support of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in person of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Please, a round of applause for that. With his strong support, she was able to create the office of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, aside founding BLP. It is very, very interesting to note that before the time of Dr. Mrs. Maryam Babangida, women in Nigeria, rural women in Nigeria, were never mainstreamed. In the 70s, we had the first development plan and the second national development plan, but there were no place for women. With the founding of BLP, we were able to mainstream women in the national conversation of Nigeria. Please put a round of applause for her memory, for having the opportunity to be able to achieve this. We'll backtrack a bit on our agenda. We have now a woman I would like to describe as a woman of great resilience, as a woman of great courage, as a woman who was given a platform and she was able to uplift herself. I would like to invite to the podium Her Majesty, Honorable Hajia Amina Aliyu, for her Goodwill Message. Welcome, Hajia. Thank you very much for making us to be here with us today. For today you are.
My mother, the late Chief Dr. Mrs. Babangida is her Majesty. I don't know where to start with. But let me start with good morning, Your Excellency. Good morning, the chairperson, Better Life for African. Good morning to all the supporters that find time to come. Kind and Emeka Daughter. Before I could say anything, I would like us to rise. Please, we should rise for at least 1 minute in memory of Her Majesty, Dr. Chief Mrs. Maryam Babangida, former First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Commander of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much. You can be seated. Please, you will bear with me as a rural woman. My English is what I'm doing. For the first lady that I hear, forgive me for who I am. So, I am very happy and I was glad when I saw the invitation of the only woman, the lady, one of the ladies that is more than 1,000 men, and we are proud of her. Her Excellency, Aisha, the only lady, I hope the African women are hearing me and women. I'm happy to be here today to witness another program for the United Nations International. I got and join, thank you. I'm looking for where to write it for me. Today, the United Nations observance of the International Day of the Rural Woman. Her Majesty told us that we don't know how to read. We must read because nobody was born with reading. And that's how former First Lady were reading without going to school. Please pardon me. I don't know what they say I should do here. I have no speech. I like speech because I'm warm. I'm very, very happy that we still keep to this memory of Her Majesty. We still carry the cross as Jesus Christ is carrying today. We also carry it. Everybody that is here today
in her grave. God has waken her up to see the seed has planted, it has grown and yield fruit. For those of us to benefit from the tree, the seed she sowed, she planted. I'm one of the most beneficiaries of this rural woman. Even according to my English, you will know. It's not either plain English or broken or what I used to cut and dry, but you understand what I mean. Before Her Majesty started this program, she liaised with the stakeholders. She liaised with who is who in this country. In 1987, when she started this program, I could remember I saw the Minister of Women Affairs. They told me yesterday that she was not in the country. Because of the love she has for this program, you see she fly maybe this morning to this place. Me, I was coming from my village. I said I must be here because my daughter honored me to talk on behalf of the African Rural Women Day. You didn't make a mistake. This is the same place that I gave the vote of thanks on behalf of African women when this center was launched. Oh. Her focus was to reduce internal mortality, increase basic health care facilities, to provide more generation income opportunity for rural women on agricultural, industry, and so on and so forth. The one that she emphasizes is to develop education, train the rural woman. Today in this country, I observe if you are not educated, they will not even know where you are. I was like, I have to see the central bank governor. Has he ever called one rural woman and give her 10 million to improve her life? When my dad started in Lagos, she went round to see, I have forgotten the name of those villages she went. No light, no health care, there are no even farming in Lagos. She said, I will not be the first lady and see my rural women suffering. They are still in blind, their eyes are blind. She started the program and she enticed the other African women who she called to this hall. Today you are sitting down here. There was no space to even sit. When I came in, the security saw me and said, Madam, go back. Where is your invitation letter? I said, yeah, it's my mother that is doing this program. Allow me to enter. They look at me. You mean Mrs. Babangida called you? I said, yes. They said, no, you will not enter. They look at me, original rural woman. I told them, I said, I will not remain like this. So one day I'll put my gogoro and I will be in your midst. And I started. The agenda she started with, if other first ladies that came in, there is one first lady that don't allow men to be their wife. That one, we hold it together. If I go see a man beating his wife, I will help beat him. Let us beat him first before we know what is the problem. Yes, because your wife is your brother, your sister, your everything. She's the first person you are faced with. But men, because they don't know our value, they think we are only meant for night to cool hypertension. No. Maryam Babangida said no. Her Majesty said no. We must make our country, Nigeria, greater than other countries in what we are seeing. I was given I started as a member. I was given treasurer because I don't spend people's money. I keep the money, but I make sure I know what they do with the money. I want to cut the story short. I won election to the National Assembly through Better Life. The first day we came to visit her, I was not among of those 13 million given. I don't know how God works. This Majesty, she looked, she said somebody is sitting in the waiting room. Who is that woman? Call her. They called me. The light was too much. Because light in our own area is not what we do. I came, I was like the ground, like I said, is it water? They said, no, it's not water, it's ice. They said, okay, no problem. Then we seated. After all the positive call, under the leadership of Mrs. Taputen, that was in 1991, She now picked on me as if God had shown her that this woman will carry your cross. Do you know what happened there? There is one woman that dressed in medium from up to top. But Madam didn't look as if she knew that woman. She came back to the hotel, she was crying. I said, that is how God designed me, don't worry yourself. I don't want to go much because I still have time to talk about better life. I am here, I struggle with the men. I contested in 1989 as a deputy governor to Taboo because I campaigned for him. We are 7. I'm the only woman. The chairman said, this lady is from the better life woman. I make sure I saw my pillowcase, I saw my, before, during that marriage, I make it a skate, green and white, UPE. I bought a bicycle, I was riding, I will fall down, I will still wake up, I fall down. I said, even though I have F, I will finish from 5. They will say I'm qualified, and I will have the constitutional qualification to contest even the president of the Federal Republic. And because Shagaritu was a president with grade 2 teacher certificate. So they not took me to court. I didn't know that you don't talk in the court. Yes. They said, contempt of court. I said, contempt of court. They said, you're not supposed to talk about it. I don't know. They said I didn't win the election. That they don't want woman. I didn't win the election. How can I go and represent me? I said, it's God. When God created Adam, he was blind in the garden. But he brought Eve to open eyes. And the men that were narrating us were the one opening eyes to him. If a woman doesn't want her husband, if a woman doesn't want her husband to survive 24 hours, he will go to heaven. So I won the case because my dad said all the female lawyers in the country should go to judge and defend my case. And I have a good case. When I came to the house, I was battling between the speaker and the deputy speaker. I was living down in the floor of the National Assembly for a committee of women affairs. I was kneeling down for them, for us to have, because when my dad came in, you know, first lady, they don't have vote. But we are still talking to them, they are looking as if we don't know what we are doing. They must have vote in every project the president is presenting, because they take more care of people than them, than the men. But they don't care. But I say, wait, look, we must have this ministry. Let's start from the unit to commission. I hope the Mrs. Speaker is here. I hope the first DG is also here. We struggle. It was hard between me and the professor. The day he was inaugurating, going to village to get women, I made sure I went to Kano. I said, that doesn't matter. You are not empowering them in 1,000, which is good. You see, when you empower one woman, you empower the nation. When you educate one woman, I still said, I don't know what these ministers are doing. You have to go to the rural woman, pick 2 or 3, educate them. Don't mind whether you are brothers, your sister. I never knew Maryam from anywhere. But if I give you my whole history from where I started as she grown me, I still pick bottle to go and engineer the small one to sell this empty that they are throwing away. Go and sell it to the people that will add you money, you make money. Pay your schools, help your mother. If there was no better life, will I do it? Now here we are. If Aisha is not alive or mother didn't born again, will the men take it off? No. Because of their own wife, Wahala will be too much. So now we have to pray for Aisha. Let her carry this cross. We are going to help her until when we die. Because if you look at this cloth I'm wearing is over 20, getting to 30 years. She said, don't show anything that will touch you because we have a long way to go. This one. I look at it today. If I tell you, you won't believe it. I look at her. I say, when I die, they should cover, after putting the white, they should cover me with this one, take me to my grave. To show the whole world that even in heaven, I remember where I come from. I will not say, I won't talk much. I'm pleading. It's like Nigerian women are sleeping. Every woman will come with her own program. By the time she leaves for 50, she will die. I called one of the first lady chairman and said, can we make a case to the National Assembly? Let us be in the constitution if it means amendment. There is nothing that is not being amended. Even American constitution is being amended. Let us have a small unit in the constitution so that every first lady will have right, so that nobody will call her EFCC, nobody will call any police or call security for her, that she's using the money that she's not supposed to use. Now this is our daughter. You know her age. She has a very large heart like her father, because her father will wake up every day in this country with a program to improve the life of the rural man or rural woman. Where is different? Is dead. Where is so many programs that even the road safety today, that people are dying more than the malaria, they said COVID-19, the accident that is happening in this road. Because Babangida for road safety, I will approve it when we are in the house. Now, what am I saying? What am I saying? If you are not in a position, if you are not corrupt, there are so many things that you can't even do. But once the rural woman is being educated, improve her own standard. Once your education not educated, nobody will point finger at you. At times we go to a gathering, I'll be the only woman in their midst. I'll say, God, have mercy on me. Let me be saved with this man. There are one gathering, more than almost 500 or 1,000 people. I'm the only woman. It's one small girl that was trying to be a photographer. Because Madam was teaching them, she taught them how to snap this picture. This work that they are doing is not mainly for only them. When God created Adam and Eve, He didn't say, this is the work for Eve, this is the work for Adam. And the Adam, Eve was the one even trying to teach Eve the right thing to do. They were in the garden, the frog, no more farming now. But I'm calling on this woman, even in your like this, you can plant cocoa, you can plant alehu, you can plant anything if you are scared of the insecurity or bandits or anything to go to farm. There are so many ways. Once there is air, you can benefit. And that is one of the agenda of Mrs. Babangida: farming, agriculture, health. Each one teach one. Are we teaching the each one teach one? Are we still teaching each one teach one? But do you know what I mean by each one teach one when Mrs. Babangida brought it? No. You don't know it? No. You must find the meaning of each one teach one. If each one teach one, we will be great. Our country will be great. I think let me just stop here so that I don't take your time. Tom, we are putting the NIFA. I'm seeing what I joy because this is an international event. But I bring it back to my level to just tell you brief history of how better life. This center, the drawing was brought from Spain when we were taken to Spain. We make sure we go with our kulikuli, garu kwaki. They brought me Chile. I don't know the name. I said, Oyibo, we don't eat small chicken in Nigeria. He said, this is baby chicken. I said, no, we don't eat baby chicken. Madam laughed. Madam said, well, that is why we go with everything. For the local one and for the urban one, she knows how to take it. I went as an advisor on agriculture. And I'm a farmer now. Because I cannot go to market and buy a basket of tomato 4,000. It's not possible. That 4,000 will be another thing for me. If my time don't do me to tell me where I live, oh, thank you very much. God bless you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, guests and friends, you will agree with me that there's nothing more to add. There's nothing more to add. She has said everything. We're only grateful that the legacies of Dr. Mrs. Maryam Babangida lives through her. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for Her Majesty, Honorable Hajia Amina Aliyu. She doesn't want to be called Her Majesty, but for today and tomorrow and forever, you are Our Majesty. Thank you very much. She said so much that it's impossible to unpack it at this event. However, as the day goes by, we shall be hearing more from her. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, just like our Honorable said, the African rural woman, especially the Nigerian rural woman, is in dire strait. She's faced with challenges like never before. Since the time of the beginning of the Better Life program, other countries have succeeded in lifting their population out of abject poverty. A case in point is Brazil. In Brazil, approximately 40 million people have been lifted out of poverty. In China, approximately 400 million people have been lifted out of poverty. However, due to the challenges that we face in Nigeria, economic challenges, security challenges, political challenges, we are still struggling to ensure that we lift people out of poverty. According to the United Nations, Nigeria suffers from multi-dimensional poverty. Approximately 110 million people live below the poverty line. These people may seem as news to us. However, we have gone to the field to interact with some of them. And due to their peculiar nature, we have decided that their story will change by the grace of God. Our little drops, we are hopeful, will make a lasting and impactful change. This morning, we wish to share their stories with you. And that's why we have tagged them Her Majesties. Please, our technical team, if you are ready, it's now time for the video presentation and launch of Her Majesty. Happy viewing, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Every woman is a princess. She dreams and believes that one day her helpless situation will make her a survivor after